I know this might be a difficult conversation for a lot of people to have right now, but Phil Spencer said something a few years ago and he got destroyed for it. Phil Spencer says that consoles exclusives are something we're going to see less and less of. Console exclusives. Now this was in 2022. He said this in 2022, but I believe he also said something very similar the last couple of years. Even this year he said something similar, I believe. And people talk shit. Phil Spencer is saying Xbox is dead. They're going to have no exclusives and blah, blah, blah. And they really bash Phil Spencer for saying this. Fast forward to 2024. You know, Xbox putting their games on, some of their games on PlayStation. And we're starting to notice that some third parties, Square Enix, they're really saying, you know, we're putting our games everywhere. We're putting our games on Xbox, on PC. It just didn't work being exclusive, putting their games exclusively on PlayStation 5. It just did not work for them. Square Enix is in trouble right now, and they're trying to get out of it. Sega, who is a company that has always had Persona, Yakuza games exclusively on PlayStation, they're like, no, we're not doing that anymore. And because of that, they are thriving. Sega's doing extremely well with their multi-platform strategy. Now, PlayStation, who is a console that sells well. We know PlayStation 5 consoles sell well, but even they're putting their games on PC. So technically, Phil Spencer was right where he says console exclusives are something we're going to see less and less of. With the exception of Nintendo, hell, Xbox put their games on PC day one, so they don't have any console exclusives. Now PlayStation are putting their games on PC, even though it's timed, but that time window is getting smaller, it's shrinking and shrinking. It used to be 4 or 5 years. Now Spider-Man 2 is going to PC in 15 months. So like I said, with the exception of Nintendo, there are really not many console exclusives. So look, this is what's happening in the games industry. I mentioned Final Fantasy, and Final Fantasy 16 producer reckons the idea of an exclusive is disappearing altogether. Final Fantasy 16 certainly suffered from that. It was only available on PlayStation 5 for over 1 year, which led to weak sales, similar to Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Now Square Enix has largely switched to a multi-platform strategy that will take Xbox into much greater account. Yoshida reiterates the shift later in the aforementioned interview. This time, we will also release the Xbox Series X and X version of Fantasian Neo Dimension. Sorry if I mispronounced that. At the same time, in the future, Square Enix titles will be released simultaneously on each platform more and more. But since this is close to the first release, we would like Xbox users to play it as well.
Now you're talking my language. Now you're talking what I want to hear.
Third place console. They don't sell Xbox consoles. Square Enix is one of the biggest publishers. They stuck with PlayStation. They had deals with PlayStation to have exclusive games on the PS5 platform. This is coming from the horse's mouth. Square Enix is saying it did not work with PlayStation, so we are going multi-platform. Listen, like I said, Phil Spencer said this years ago, and people talk shit about him. Phil said, I do have a fundamental belief that over the next 5 or 10 years, exclusive games that are exclusive to one piece of hardware are going to be smaller and smaller part of the gaming industry. The guy is right. Yes, this is a difficult conversation to have with some people, especially Xbox fans, where some of Xbox games are going to PlayStation. They're going to other platforms. But as you see, it's just not working anymore. I mentioned Sega, how Sega was one of the publishers that had a lot of PlayStation exclusive games in the past, but years ago they decided to go full multi-platform. And check this out. Sega reported new player numbers for the Persona and Like a Dragon series. Persona reached 23.5 million and Like a Dragon 27.7 million players. Sega says its JRPG successes are thanks to the multi-platform releases in recent years.
Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? I know I told you because I was on TV when I said it.
This is not a coincidence. Sega just said the reason they're successful right now is because of multi-platform releases. People think because PlayStation sells the most consoles, people buy the most games on PlayStation. No, casuals buy the PlayStation. Casuals only play a few games a year, if that. They might play 2 games a year. So as you see, Sega is doing well right now. Square Enix wants to get in that position. They bet on PlayStation, and PlayStation fanboys let them down. Speaking of PlayStation, remember the recent story about Crimson Desert developer Pearl Abyss? PlayStation approached them, said, yo, let's do an exclusivity deal. Pearl Abyss said, no, we're going to release our shit multi-platform. We want it to be everywhere. We don't want to do an exclusive deal with PlayStation. We don't care that you're the market leader. We want it everywhere. And that's what has happened, y'all. That's what has happened. I mean, we can say that PlayStation, it has 65 million consoles sold, but numbers are numbers and facts are facts. These third-party publishers are going full multi-platform. They're tired of the bullshit, right? And even PlayStation is doing some things different than they did in the past. Now, of course, with the recent news about Death Stranding going to Xbox consoles, it has opened up Pandora's box, right? People are like, yo, why did they sell the IP to Kojima Productions? Is this something that's going to happen in the future? Are they going to put more games on Xbox and let 505 Games publish these games? Or, there's a lot of questions that I don't know when we will get the answer to. But like I mentioned, Sony is doing different things too. Sony president, COO, and CFO Hiroki Totoki says that PlayStation are currently reforming their gaming business with the following steps.
What number comes between 2 and 4, Beetlejuice?
25.
Changing business structure, new look at game development approach, portfolio concept to be introduced, cost cuts in different areas, optimization in investment in sales and marketing. Hiroki is the money guy. He's the finances guy. He is the guy that they send in there when they want shit cleaned up. And when I say shit, I mean overspending. Not enough money being made. You know what I'm saying? He is that guy. Now, back to what I was saying about PlayStation with the console sales and PlayStation fanboys thinking everything is gravy with PlayStation. If everything was so gravy, why are there changing business structure? Why are there new look at game development approach? Concord really hurt this company. People don't want to talk about it. People don't realize how much of a fuck up Concord was. Yes, we talk about, they lost $400 million and blah, blah, blah. $400 million is a lot of money on one game, and they got no money back. They lost all of that money. They had to give refunds. That is not something PlayStation does, y'all. Hiroki is the man that's sent to fix all of this shit. Jim Ryan really hurt this company. They said, look, man, go ahead and retire because we're going to fire your ass, but we'll bake you a cookie and get the hell out of here. Now Herman Holtz is the next guy that they're looking at like, do we need you? Are you going to make us any money? Jim Ryan bought Bungie. Herman Holtz, you greenlit Concord. Bungie is a waste of money. Concord was a waste of money. So do you understand why PlayStation is putting their games on PC? The strategy is changing. No more console exclusives for Xbox and PlayStation. No more. Ponies think they had a W because Phil Spencer said we're putting some games on PlayStation. Guys like Tim Dog flipped. He left, said, fuck Xbox. Xbox is dead. I'm done. They thought it was over. But yet and still, we're here. Where PlayStation might be doing some of the same things. PlayStation sold Death Stranding IP to Kojima. They don't usually sell their IPs. PlayStation CFO is saying they're changing their business structure. They're changing how they look at game development. There are cost cuts in different areas. Portfolio concept to be introduced. Optimization and investment in sales and marketing. If PlayStation was so amazing, so incredible with what they're doing, why are they changing strategies? Let that sink in, y'all. Look, I gotta go. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you happen to stumble across my channel, you think I'm decent enough, why don't you go ahead and subscribe? And if you subscribe, please hit the notification bell to know when my black ass is doing some new content, baby. All right, everybody. Peace and love. Peace and love. Shit. Damn, man.